So congratulations on the Deliverance. I'll start with you, Andrew. Now, Andra, your character deals with a lot, obviously including spiritual warfare. How
Yeah.
did you shake all of that off once filming wrapped?
I kind of shook it all off even before. You know what I mean? I shook it all off through prayer. You know, I'm a believer, and there was no way I was going to agree to doing this without having peace about it in my spirit for me, you know? And so that was the big thing. And I was reminded before going to set through prayer that these are things that we run from and we hide from and we try to act like don't exist when actuality we're not supposed to be afraid of them. You know what I mean? If we're going to be light, we need to be light in dark places. I heard the things authority. You have authority over these things. They are under your foot. And I was excited at portraying a character that is going through so much and overcoming so much, but is also showing people like we don't actually have to be afraid. Take it seriously, but don't be afraid of things in these spaces if you believe that. You know what I mean? So it was through prayer. There was actually a lot of love and light on set. I think that she can attest to that. I think people would have expected set to be dark and scary. I'm like, we were laughing. There was a lot of light, a lot of prayer, a lot of love. You know, it was an amazing experience.
Now, Glenn, the dynamic between the mother and daughter in the movie is a complicated one, and they have a lot of things that's impacting their relationship. How do you feel like their relationship actually anchors the overall film?
Wow, I think that they are both caught up in cycles of abuse. I think Alberta came from an abused place, and I think a lot of times, with much has been written about it, that people who have been abused usually become abusers unless there's an intervention or unless they can get out of it. So this is they're caught up in the cycle. Alberta is trying to get out of it and to help her daughter get out of it. She's doing the best she can, and it's only when Andra's character Ebony actually confronts the darkness and has the strength to fight it and to overcome it, that's you have the promise that cycle will be stopped. Because some person has to say it's going to stop with me and have the strength in order to make that happen.
No, Andra, the kid actors in the movie are so great. How did you feed off of them in the scenes that you guys shared together?
They gave me and everyone on set everything. I mean, she can speak to, I love them so much. I still love them so much. They're still here. They still exist. This is supposed to have faded. I got this like tattoo of their names and their birth dates, which is a lie because I don't have no kids. But I don't know how to describe it exactly. Their energy was just so refreshing. It was so amazing because, as she knows, they were phenomenal. They were not actors and they were not acting, even though they are amazing actors. They were just being, And I think Lee did such a brilliant job of allowing Demi to be a teenager, allowing Caleb to play this young person who really, obviously being known from Stranger Things and, Concrete Cowboy as well, too. But he's a man. He's a grown man. But he feels the way he does about his manhood that any person at the character's age would feel. Lee captured that very well. AJ was hilarious. Like, he would be super sweet and then a menace on set sometimes. And we loved it because it made us feel more like family. I truly felt like Mom Glenn and I would be wrangling the kids and trying to get things. So it really made us feel like family. And then at one point, she brought us out on a boat on like the Pittsburgh, wherever the river was, she was just talking about. And that was such a great time as well, too. We had snacks. We just spent time together as a family. And I'm grateful to their families because they allowed me to interact with them as their mother, not just when we were on set, but when we were off set as well. And I would just be talking to them constantly, FaceTiming constantly, fixing little things on them, watching over them. And they allowed their kids to call me mom. Like, that's a lot. That's a heavy thing. It can be very uncomfortable. And so I'm incredibly grateful to the kids for engaging me in that way and engaging with their grandmother in that way and their families being so giving as well.
Now, you mentioned that there were, like, on set was actually fun, and Anjanou spoke to that as well, which is crazy. So how was the experience, Glenn, shooting with these paranormal elements?
I've always thought that acting is about 96% imagination. And so I had a full run of my imagination in this part because sometimes I was interacting with a man who was dressed in a totally head-to-toe blue. When it got into the confrontation that happens near the end of the film. Andra, you have more of a lasting battle than I did.
Yes. Well, I think the interesting part is that we're seeing Alberta toward the end of her transformation. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, she has received her faith. She has decided she does not want to be the woman that she was before. She's trying to reconcile the relationship with her daughter.
She believes in what's happening before anyone else does.
Before anybody else does. And
she's the one who takes the kids around to every church and tries to get help.
Exactly.
And gets turned down. It's Alberta who does that.
Whereas Ebony knows something's wrong with her kids and she knows something's going on. But she doesn't want to believe that. She doesn't want to believe, I think, anything that her mother believes because there's so much resentment there, and she's trying to heal these wounds. So it takes her a while to get there because, A, she doesn't believe in it, and is still not trusting of her mother, and is just trying to figure out how to keep her kids, how to hold on to her kids and how to keep them, keep them from going into the system. She's finally faced with the fact that you will have to believe these things. You will have to trust your mother. You will have to reconcile these relationships. You will have to heal from the inside out. That is the only way you'll be able to save these kids. So it was definitely quite a journey, for sure.